Okay, so we're going to look at the next one in this document that I've made. That's the map, Lincoln Town map. Right, so the interesting thing about this map that I want you to notice, of course, is there's present and then future. So that remember, they can do future for map. And we'll have to do a lot of is expected to, is planned to, that sort of thing. Future language. Now you'll see this document in the documents as well. This is mainly for the charts, the line charts, pie charts and all the rest of it, but a lot of these are still relevant. You're not going to really use noun phrases. We'll look at the noun phrases that we use for maps. Paraphrase the same, overview is the same. I'll look at overviews. That's not relevant. Yes, paragraphing, but usually just one paragraph per map. Data, you're not going to select data, but you are going to look at the elements, the things on the map that you're going to report, and of course write the paragraph. So it's a similar procedure. So let's dive in straight away and do our paraphrase. The maps below show a town called Lincoln as it is at present and plans for its development. Fine. I want you to start practicing trying to use the word how in your paraphrase. It's a nice way to paraphrase because you're paraphrasing the grammar, not only the vocabulary. So we can do something like the maps below show how a town called Lincoln is expected to change after development. So that's pretty nice and that's fine. There's no problem there. It's very good. Start practicing in all of your task ones to use the word how in the paraphrase. You can almost always use it unless they use it themselves in the question. But I'd like to give you another option for a paraphrase because I love the word undergo and underwent. So we could also say something like this. The two maps show that changes that the town of Lincoln, and there's our future language, is expected to undergo. It's a really nice word to see, and often I can use it with maps. So choose whichever one you want out of these. I think I'm going to choose that second one. And then onto our overview. Overall, it can be seen that. And then I've also given you this document. The maps, the overview is not really as important as in the other charts. You just got to say that it's going to change a lot, really. But it's really nice if you want to go for a band 7 kind of overview, if you can point out some kind of area in particular which is going to develop or change. So whatever, let's just choose that. Overall, it can be seen that the town of Lincoln is expected to witness dramatic changes over the period shown. And that's nice, but then we want to say specifically with respect to. Maybe try and use that one. And that, again, that one gives you a nice word that you can often use. So let's look at our map. What infrastructure? Maybe we can use it. What do you think? I would say specifically with respect to the road infrastructure. And because they're really changing the road network here. Right, and that you can do pretty quickly. Get your paraphrase and your overview done with maps. It's not too difficult. We're not going to do that. The paragraphing is obvious, one paragraph per map. Now you're actually going to examine the map and decide what you're going to report. So we'll take a quick look. Please notice this thing over here, very important. So that gives us the opportunity to use north, south, east, west a lot in the map, on the north of, to the north of. So we've got the main road that got changed into a pedestrian road. This is called a ring road. They put a ring road around the town. Shops became shopping mall. Maybe you can say farmland became parking, but I would just say farmland disappeared. Housing became apartment blocks, library became school, park became sports field, and swimming pool remained unchanged. Not so bad. So what is the main thing? The main road, I guess. We'll start with that. So we're just going to do a paragraph describing, using present tense, describe this map. And you want to start with the main thing of the map. So what's the main thing of the map? It's a matter of opinion, but I would say that it's the main road. So let's try something like this. Overall, it can be, looking at the first map in more detail, it can be seen that it is clear that the main road runs through the center of the town. That's fine, that's nice. But I want to give you something slightly better. I want to try and use the word the central feature. Looking at the map, it's clear that the central feature of Lincoln is the main road which runs through the town. It's nicer because it gives us this is nice vocabulary, and it also can maybe sometimes give us a comma which. So I'm going to go with this one, it's a bit better. And then any nice vocabulary that you pick up during my videos, you should go to your maps vocabulary. Maybe you can use this as your maps vocabulary and just start adding anything that you see in my videos or anywhere else that you like. It's more important that you do it yourself than if I just give you long lists of things, because it's more likely that you're going to use it and remember it if you make the list. So please, you must make the vocabulary lists as much as possible. Right, back to the map. Then I think we'll talk about the shops and the housing. And remember, we can use north, south, east, west. Just something fairly simple. On the north side of the main road, there are a number of shops. I could say whereas on the south side there are houses, but this is a little bit better, is occupied by, vocabulary and passive, whereas the south side is occupied by housing. Simple enough. What's next? I just want to mention the farmland quickly. Don't be afraid of the occasional short sentence. It's actually good to have a combination of short sentences and long sentences in all your essays. Students think that every single sentence should be a long, big, complicated sentence. No, it's better to have a combination, some short, some long. Also notice with maps there's going to be a lot of there is. I don't like to use it in the charts, but with maps we're going to use it. There is, there are, there was, there were. Right, then let's talk about the swimming pool and the park. We're going to say something east of the town. A road runs north, a road runs south, a small road. East of the town, a small road leads. This is quite nice. Put it on your vocabulary. When we say to something, then we can say it leads to. A small road leads to north to a swimming pool, and another small road leads south to a park. Simple enough. Please notice, as within the charts, here the things are capitalized, and in the charts the categories are capitalized, but you must not capitalize them when you're writing. They're only capitalized here because they're labels. But if you put it in a sentence, it mustn't have a capital. Unless it's the name of a building, like Victoria Hospital or something, then of course you capitalize. Not only a building, but just a name of something. Good, then the only last thing we got to talk about is the library. So in the southwest of the town, or to the southwest of the town, I won't say small road because I've said it twice, so let me say a curved road leads to a library. And that's all we need for paragraph 1. Simple enough. Now you can say turning to the proposed changes, but what about just another different kind of linking language, introduction, something like this. The map of the town after the proposed changes looks distinctly different. It's nice because it's got some nice vocabulary. It's just up to you. You've got to start getting your own sort of linking language developing. We could have just said turning to the second map if you want. If you can't think of anything else, that's fine. And now I really want to go for a nice big sentence, because this change, this ring road, that's the biggest thing. So that's the point of the whole essay. It's the most important sentence of the whole essay, really, because I mentioned it in my infrastructure. So now I'm not going to hold back, and I'm going to think of a nice, really big sentence. And I'm going to use something I like saying, perhaps the most striking change, something like that. Let's take a look. Perhaps the most striking change is quite nice. It's slightly opinion, but it's not strong opinion, so you can put it in task 1, no problem. And anyway, you've softened it, you've hedged it with the perhaps. So that language is fine. It's nice for maps. Put it on your vocabulary list. Perhaps the most striking change is that the road system, and then that's some nice vocabulary, is expected to be expanded. Excellent vocabulary and grammar. I've got passive, I've got future language, and I've got a nice piece of vocabulary there. And then to include a ring road, that's quite nice grammar. Which will encircle the town. I've got a comma which over there, and encircle, again, nice vocabulary. So don't worry if you can't do something as nice as this. There's a lot going on here, but do notice each thing that I've put in here. The future language is expected to be expanded. Perhaps the most striking change is that, some linking language, and the comma which over there. In addition, a ring road and encircle is nice. Great sentence. Then we'll talk about the shopping mall and the parking. The shops are expected to be replaced by a shopping mall which will have a parking area behind it. We just got to say the farmland will be removed or will disappear. Then the main road inside the ring road will be converted into a pedestrian road. The section, that's nice language, the section of main road inside the ring road will be converted into a pedestrian road, and then something about the housing becoming apartment blocks, but I'll say the apartment blocks will replace the housing, which currently stand there. Very nice. It's a sneaky little which that I've put in. It doesn't have to be there. The apartment blocks will replace the houses, fine. But it gives me a little bit of extra grammar, gives me a which so that the examiner can notice it. See if you can do that whenever you can. Instead of just having a noun, see if you can change it into a noun phrase using a which. Even if this is kind of useless information, doesn't matter. It gives you the nice grammar structure. Then the sports field, the swimming pool in the school. The library is expected to be converted into a school and the park into a sports field, whereas the swimming pool will remain unchanged. Remain unchanged whenever you can use it. It's very nice. That's it. I just want to say more about the ring road. I want to say these little roads over here, something about access to all of these will be provided by the ring road. Access to all of these facilities will be provided by the ring road. And there you go. That's going to be quite long. How long is it? 253 words. It's pretty long. Maps can be pretty long because you kind of have to mention everything. But we were able to do it quite fast. That's the important thing. Alright, great. So what you should do now is try and write it again. Don't look at mine, but try and write it again from your memory. And see if you can use all of these grammar structures. Specifically take a look at all of these things that I've highlighted here. Those are the stuff that's leading up, that's getting you into Band 7 territory. And write some of that down. I've highlighted both grammar and vocabulary. But write some of it down, see if you can use it in your maps. Great, thank you very much.